So, what's up, guys? It's Tracy Mitchell, VA with This Is 50.com, and I'm with my very special guest, Miss Jojo. Hey,
Hey, sweet
it's
Scream
the
Mojo.
Miss Jojo. Okay, it's the first day of the new year 2024. So, how are you feeling? What's the energy?
The energy is motivated. Like the word of the year is motivated. Like I am hyped. I'm excited for this new year.
Oh my gosh. First off, let's go ahead and start off and talking about how you even got to this journey of doing music and trying to just take over the music game.
Look, so I started doing music like at a very young age. I had to been 3 when I started singing. And then I was like 6 when I started freestyling because I started freestyling before I started rapping. So it was just always just something I did like as a hobby, just something that I did for fun. And then, my friends used to be like, you need to do this. You need to be a rapper, a singer, like for real. And I was like, you know what? Let's try it. So I kind of like took off. What was that about? 2015 is when I really like started like diving hard into like choruses, hooks, like actually coming up with songs.
Yeah.
And then 2018, I just like came in and kicked in the door and just been going like up, just going.
For sure. When did you know when you started doing those hooks and everything? When did you know that you were actually good at it though? Like you're like, yeah, I can make a career out of this.
Really, my family. Like when they've always been like my fans in my show, like who I would perform for. So when when it's a kid singing or a kid rapping, and then you got that Amy leaning over to your mom, like she know what she know what she doing. And that's what I experienced a lot growing up. And I was like, okay, maybe I got this. And then my friends, in school, I was the one like at the lunch table, like hitting the table, freestyling or just freestyling with other friends at parties. So that at that moment, I was like, okay, you got something, you got something.
Yeah. For sure. That moment right there could just inspire you when your friends like your
Mhm,
music, but the family likes
mhm.
the music. That's when you know it's like, yeah, I can do this.
Yes, yes.
For sure. So how about last year? I think you had a song with Lotto. It was some remix. Um,
Yeah.
you want to
We
talk?
had did a remix mashup.
Yeah, talk to me about it.
Okay, so first of all, shout out to DJ D Real. He definitely did the mashup mix up with me and Lotto. But so that song is for show. And like, when I first did that song, I was just trying to think of like an anthem for God. Cause like I'm a big Christian. And I know that we use a lot of sayings like Jesus fixed it or God got me, things of that nature. So I was trying to do I was trying to do an anthem for God. And basically, when I had the for show, God got me for show, that's it just really just took off. Like it's like because everyone says that, like God got me. God
Yeah.
got me. That's for sure. So the song just took off, and we've just been the videos. The views is pushing on it now on YouTube, and we're just promoting it. And I mean, I'm just really this year. I'm just really planning on getting more T-shirts done, like with logos and just quotes from just things that I do and say in my music and just in general. And he did that mashup. And what's crazy is when he first did it, because I don't cuss in my music. So when
At
he
all.
first did at all. So when he first did the mashup, I you had Lotto in there doing her thing, but I was like, you know what? You know what? It sounded so good together. I was like, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Talk to me about the cussing. Like, were you afraid to make that decision, being that the hip hop music scene is heavily, in
Yeah.
the cussing field?
Very I will say secured in my faith, but definitely going up and just listening to music, even music I listen to, I was like, now how am I gonna incorporate this? And then every now and then slipping out my little sailor words. I was like, how are we gonna incorporate? How you go, you finna do this? I actually don't cuss as much like now in life because I feel like I did that with my music. But it was tough because in 2015 when I first started, I was cussing, and
Mhm.
I mean, I was a monster,
I
and
don't
I
want to
was
cuss no more either. Like, it's so low vibrational.
yes, and that's the thing. It's just like, don't get me wrong, some of my lyrics may still be like, I'm not playing, but it
Yeah.
don't take. I just feel like it don't take all that extra. Like cussing and just being, you're already talking your mess. So it's like you, when you think about it, every word you use is almost a cuss word compared to real words. Like say what you got to say.
Yeah.
Like what you gotta, cuss your way through it. Say the word that you're trying to say, basically, the real word.
Sometimes you don't need a cuss. It's just all about the
Mhm.
energy
Yeah, yeah,
and just
yeah.
having that aggression in your voice.
Yeah, and then I have kids listen to my music a lot, and so I wanted to make sure that my music was immediately kid appropriate, immediately radio appropriate, like, so that was the goal
So you
with
don't
the.
ever see yourself stepping out of that and talking about F that and all that.
I'm not gonna say I don't ever see, because as an artist, sometimes you go in a booth and you really vent, and I feel like if I come across something that I'm so deep that it goes there, but it's meaningful and it's purposeful, then one may slip out, but it has to be. I said if I ever did it, it wouldn't be on just I call them jibber jabber songs, and that's just kind of like a just to kind of get everybody bobbing their head, or no, it would be like one of my motivational songs that I know that I said this cuss word because I was so serious and I was, trying to get that point across, like when you get lectured. But other than that, I don't see
So
it.
these motivational songs, like, give us some like messages. Like, what motivation do you find yourself like putting in your music a lot?
So my music, I speak a lot about self-love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm heavy on self-love. I'm heavy on boundaries. I'm heavy on setting your boundaries and not allowing any to cross, whether it's like a lot, especially a lot of on this album that I'm about to drop soon. Um it's really speaking on self-love, it's speaking on motivation, it's speaking on, keeping God first, it's speaking on just keeping your eyes open to what's going on around you, the people around you. I got some slow jams on there, so it got, I was like, let me
Love
do some little love stuff on here. So speaking of love, even in my slow jam, some of it's speaking of it's totally different. My vibe is different when it comes down to
I
explaining
gotta check
myself
that
to a
out.
man. Yeah, explaining myself to a man, or like, for a woman to explain themselves, like it's a total different vibe. Like, so that's basically that's my goal. That's what I'm coming with on the album, and just getting through the wire, through this
Right.
struggle.
I feel
It's
like
a blend.
yes, I feel like people can learn a lot from your music, even me.
Yeah.
And yeah, we need that. I feel like in 2024, I want more positive music, more intentional music,
Yeah.
because people overlook how intense music is, like how powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're
Absolutely.
constantly listening to music that's based on just low vibrational topics and negativity, that becomes your life. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely.
sure. So I
Make,
like
make up
that.
your mindset.
Yeah, I love the content for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some highlights and maybe first off, what's the album name?
So that's I literally got like album names right now, like in the bag, and I'm going like the old school way. Like I'm just gonna stick my hand in there. I'm doing one more time because I've been very so trying to figure out the album name has been probably one of my biggest challenges. Literally, like from the name and the cover, like when I'm been talking with the team, I'm like, okay, this got to be big.
You
I
can't
don't
just
know
give
what
it
the cover got to
self-love. It's
be.
gotta be something spectacular.
And then I go, this got to be simple. We got to just keep this plain and simple. But no, 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 no. These songs, no, this got to be big. So I've literally been going back and forth with the album cover. I'm thinking We Scream Mojo, but if the album drop and you see it and you'd be like, that wasn't the album cover, just know I stuck my hand back in the bag and I was like, hmm. So I don't know yet. The album cover is still I need to know because it's coming soon.
Yeah.
Um, so but I've that's it. That's where we're finishing up right now. Like the songs are finished.
So
So
like
that's
when it comes to your discography, like what number album is this? Is this the second? Is this the third album? Or is this
this is
debut?
this is the first album.
Okay, so let's talk about the pressures
Yeah,
behind
real.
it.
So I've always told, I don't know if you ever read the book with the rabbit and the turtle in the race.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've always so my slang and my quote is the turtle wins the race. And I've always been a turtle. So with this album, it was so personal. And it was now I can say this year I gotta relax on my perfectionist,
Okay.
like because with this album, I've literally been trying to make sure that every song that I bring it. So in that takes time, especially like with me, it takes a little time for me to really just sit and really be like, okay, yeah, okay, I talked. You did your big one on this one, because sometimes with everything going on in the world, your mom is like racing, 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 going. So it's just like, what are you talking about? I don't, I do it to myself. I'm my biggest, critic. So I
Biggest-
was like, okay, we got to get this album out. It's time.
So
It's
what weighs,
time.
yeah, so what weighs more? Like, is it the time or is it the perfection? Like
The
what?
perfection. It's the perfection. When Erica Badu was like, I'm sensitive about my I felt that deep in my core. Like I was like, I'm sensitive about it. And I want to make sure that when it hits, that it is everything and some, and it's just all the way me.
Right.
And so that's basically what's been going on. And I mean, I have songs for years, like that's gonna drop that I felt like I was already 10 steps ahead. So even dropping them now, was like, okay, okay,
I love
we
that.
she's
So
still here.
unloading the clip. You were unloading the clip with the music
I
and
know that basically, yeah. So this year I'm like, all right, let's pull out the vault. Let's do it. It's showtime. Let's do it. So
your first day of 2024 already sounds lit, honestly.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm like, all right, it's showtime now. Like, I mean, and the thing is, I'll be honest, I started at the end of last year, just really buckling down hard on closing everything for the album to be dropped. So it's like I'm not on some new year new me. No, last year was a new me. I was already in a reset of mind frame. So I'm just definitely ready now. It's like I'm ready. Like you've been all last year, you've been doing what everybody's going to do right now in January and February and start on these goals, and I'm like, no,
Yes.
baby, I started like
Dude, me
August,
too. Where do you
and
think, where do
really,
we start with the new year? Where do we even
yeah,
start? Do we journal? Do we have a calendar? Like, what do we do?
yeah. Yeah, because it was like I started that. If you see me in August, maybe you would have thought it was a new year for me already. The way I stepped out, like, hold
Yeah,
on, she's not even saving it for the new year. That means she's gonna do something even crazier. Now,
I
that's
love
it.
that. Okay. So I got some fire questions for you before we end this.
Okay,
First
okay.
off, who do you want to prove it to?
I want to prove to God, myself, and definitely my family and my friends, just everybody that's been screaming mojo and that's been cheering for me, but most importantly, really, myself, because you if you don't prove it to yourself, then when it comes down to approval, you'll never be looking for approval from yourself. So I'll, and then, but I'm definitely, it's all for God. Everything I do for God, whether it's good, bad, whether it's trap, whether it's slow, it's all for God, and that's my main
Of course, when you put
proving.
God first, especially with your career, it's
Oh
just
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If I got to stay underground, I'm willing to take that fight. But yeah, yeah,
I
definitely.
feel that one. That Main Street life is not easy.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like I look, y'all get this coming for me all on the media and all that. I'm just gonna pray for you. We gonna see what happens.
Yo,
I'm just
that
gonna
happens.
pray.
How do you see your craft evolving?
I see it doing its biggest this year. I really do. I feel myself doing my biggest. Like even just with this interview with you, like this is like maybe my third interview. So I really and I'm very extrovert, introvert. Like I'm both.
Hey,
But this year it's like I'm coming out. I got so much to say. I got so much to do. It's like I'm cool. You're a cool person. We're cool. Like the world needs to know who we are and what we stand for. So it's just like I'm ready. I'm
love
on
that
it.
energy. I need that energy. Whoever's watching this interview, I need that energy just flow through the screen because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like just step in who you are, be proud of
Yeah, and not and being unapologetic. Like I don't care. Like at this point, like I'm gonna, because we're not gonna be perfect and we're gonna mess up regardless. So I might as well just let it on out, and we'll get over it tomorrow if that's the case. I'll be over today, but you can get over it tomorrow. That's fine.
it takes me like 72 business hours to get over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Final words from you to your supporters.
So to my supporters, I definitely love you guys. Please stay tuned in. Thank you for being tuned in from the jump. And you know what? It's showtime. To my followers, they know what that means. It's showtime. But to the people that don't know me, just know. Remember, I said it was showtime, and the show is finna go on. So, like,
What's
that's the
going
goal.
on? Okay,
Yes,
y'all, she's very confident, and the music is just as confident. Okay, so make
yes.
sure
Birthday in 10 days, Capricorn season. Yeah,
Capricorn. You're Capricorn.
yeah.
I'm Aquarius. I'm almost there.
You're almost there. You almost there. Are you January or February?
I'm a February.
Okay, good. Because the January Capricorns need to understand. I mean, the January Aquarius need to understand that Aquarius season starts in February. But we love y'all deeply. But January, the whole month of January, just leave what they say, just leave the planet
Yes.
because that's us. The goats are coming in the door.
I
So
definitely love the Capricorns. Y'all are business minded, clear minded. So yeah,
yeah,
period.
yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mojo. And once again, guys,
Thank you so much for having me. You were great. Thank you.
thank you so much. Once again, guys, it's Tracy Mitchell, VA with thisis50.com. I'll see you guys next time.